Lou Ferrigno, TV's Incredible Hulk, and the star of two soon-to-be-released theatrical movies, Hercules and the Seven Magnificent Gladiators, has the chest of a giant, massive, muscled, awesome. But Lou wasn't always built that way, and it wasn't easy for him to achieve his outstanding pectoral development. My chest was a difficult body part for me to develop when I was a kid, Lou reveals. It might be hard to believe that this Herculean bodybuilder once had trouble getting his chest to respond, but it's true. One impediment, Lou surmises, was his enormous arm strength. My arms were my best body part, he explains, and my chest was very small. So when I tried to do bench presses, my triceps ended up doing most of the work. Besides, because I have such long arms, bench presses were really awkward for me. I had to lift the weight so far that it made the movement relatively heavier for me than most bodybuilders. As Lou's chest began to grow, he found bench presses becoming easier. He was able to find the groove much more easily, which further accelerated his pectoral development and enabled him to work with heavier weights. But the amount of weight wasn't the only factor in his progress. Lou believes learning stricter technique was just as important. About 10 years ago, I experimented with my grip, and I found that holding the bar a bit wider than shoulder width gave me the most pectoral isolation. I also tried lifting the bar all the way up, locking out my triceps and deliberately contracting the pectorals as fully as I could. This may sound easy enough, but it takes a lot of concentration to make yourself do each time when you're lifting heavy and are so tired you just want to get the set over with. Being strict that way and having the guts to do it right no matter what gave me my best results. The approach helped Lou win 2 Mr. Universe titles, but at getting ready to play Hercules, Lou realized that he would have to alter his training routine. For one thing, he already had the size, so that wasn't a training objective. What he needed was maximum shape and definition to get into such condition that the image he projected in theaters worldwide would be one he could be proud of. I made several changes in my training program, Lou explains. These included training each body part twice instead of 3 times a week, training with weights once instead of twice a day, running in the afternoon 3 times a week, training later using a lot of supersets and trisets instead of low-rep maximal efforts. I wanted my physique to be hard and defined. I wanted Hercules to look as if he were carved from granite, but I knew I couldn't get really ripped and keep that kind of shape for several months of filming in Rome. So I did only a little heavy lifting and developed a more athletic program that gave me shape and definition and still let me keep my size. Lou schedules chest and back exercises for the same workout, but that doesn't believe in the push-pull supersets that Arnold Schwarzenegger always liked. I don't enjoy the workout that way. I end up huffing and puffing, but I do like working chest first and then back. The chest and back are opposing muscles. When you work the chest, you stretch and warm up the back. Then when you train the back, you stretch out the chest. You end up with a total pump. For his Hercules training program, Lou has narrowed his chest workout down to 5 exercises. Bench press, 4 to 5 heavy sets, tricep 4 times. Incline barbell press, dumbbell flies, dips, cable flies, 3 or 4 sets. I start out with the bench press, but I don't go too heavy. I can bench over 500 pounds, but why bother? I already have the size, so all I'll be doing is risking injury. But Lou points out that he did lift heavy in order to build his size, and he recommends that young bodybuilders develop their size and strength by constantly trying to work up to heavier poundages. Heavy squats and benches play an important part in creating the 265-pound physique he now displays. You do what is appropriate to your own goal, says Lou. I'm a bodybuilder and an actor, not a weightlifter. I don't let my ego make me take risks for no reason. I know I'm strong. I proved that when I beat Mike Mentzer in the weightlifting contest on Superstars. Beating Mike was tough because he's extremely strong. After doing his bench presses, Lou goes right into a tricep to shape and define his entire chest. For the triceps, I do 3 exercises, one after the other without pause. After completing this set, I rest for about a minute, then go back to the 3 exercises again, repeating the process 3 more times, for a total of 4 trisets, Lou explains. The first movement of the set, the incline bench press, is very important for developing the upper chest and avoiding a shallow look to the pectorals. Again, he locks up to the top and squeezes the chest muscles together for extra contraction. Lou has always preferred to do presses with a bar instead of dumbbells. This allows him to concentrate on isolating the chest muscles instead of worrying about controlling the dumbbells. He is also very strict about keeping his back flat on the bench so he can fully isolate the chest muscles. Next, I go to dumbbell flies. These are important because they give you the best pectoral stretch of any chest exercise. I bend my elbows slightly and lower the weights as far as they can go to the floor. Then I bring them back up in a wide arc and really contract the chest muscles on top. The final exercise in Lou's tricep is the dip. When he was trying to build size, Lou used to do dips with heavy dumbbells around his waist. Now he just uses his own body weight, which after all is 265 pounds. He is after sculpting now rather than mass, and straight dips done very strictly accomplish this for him. Also, doing 3 triceps in a row is so demanding, especially when a person trains as intensely as Lou does, that just getting through the last set is difficult enough without adding extra weight. When I do dips, Lou explains, I keep my chin almost touching my chest and my feet held in front of me. I keep my elbows out. When you hold them in too close, you work the triceps more than the pectorals. I go down as far as possible and get the maximum stretch I can in the chest muscles. Then, as I go back, I lock out on top and really get a full pectoral contraction. Lou is adamant about the need for proper technique in chest training. He sees kids in the gym lifting weights that are really too heavy for them, throwing them around in a sloppy manner, and he remembers the difficulty he once had because he did the same thing. Sure, you need to lift heavy to build up your chest, I know that, but you also need to do exercises correctly too. You lift as heavy as you can while still being strict. Then, as you get stronger, you continue to lift heavier, but always doing the exercises strictly. When you don't, unless your chest develops easily, the way my arms did, you just won't get the results you need to be competitive. The finishing touch to Lou's chest workout is the cable fly. He stretches his arm out as far as possible, then brings his hands together in front. As he performs his reps, he observes his physique in the mirror, the development, the definition, the shape of the pectorals and the striations, and takes stock of his progress. Between sets, he flexes and poses his chest, getting the maximum pump and working to developing total muscle control. I have to admit, Lou Ferrigno says, I've worked extremely hard on my chest to get ready to play Hercules. I remember watching Steve Reeves in the role on television. I stayed up late at night whenever his movies were on. I remember how massive and powerful his chest looked. He was like a god. I have a great tradition to live up to. Lou Ferrigno's Hercules training split 6 days a week, each body part 2 times a week except calves and abs. Monday, calves, chest, back, abs. Tuesday, calves, shoulders, triceps, abs. Wednesday, legs, biceps. Thursday, calves, chest, back, abs. Friday, calves, shoulders, tricep, abs. Saturday, legs, biceps. Run 3 times a week in the afternoon, 3 miles each time.